Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of Night's Talk. I'm your host, Rob Leonard. Got a very special show for you this week. Normally, we finish off interviewing some players, but I've got some great special guests. Sarah Durrer from the Grey Bruce office of the Canadian Mental Health Association, and Knights Director of Scouting, and many, many other things that the gentleman does with the Knights, Danny Smith. They're going to join us at the end of the show, but let's get to the week that was for the Knights of Meaford. Let's start on Wednesday night. The Knights had a game in Bradford versus the Bulls. The Knights would fall by a score of 6-2 in that one. Hayden Phillip and Jordan DeGow would score goals for Meaford. Now, let's switch to Thursday night. In Meaford, a return visit by the Bradford Bulls. We have all the goals from that one.
He's got room. Yeah, there's a goal. That was all Korchenko. And over the line, there's a shot right on Smith with the save off of Martin Badura. Now here's a breakaway. Solomon all by himself. Shot and scores. What a great goal by Solomon. The penalty is over. And here's a breakaway for the Meaford Knights. Here comes Blaze Siebert in over the line. Scores! Here's Stolf. Stolf clears it into the zone. Comes around the net. Oh, Flanagan with a miscue. Where is it? They score! It is the best cheese that you can get for pizza, and he put a ton of it on our pizzas tonight. And Daryl, thank you so much for that. That was fantastic. Here's the Bulls with a chance. Scores!
Here to the Knights of Meaford's attempt at a comeback.
Shot and scores. Declan Flanagan. Shot and scores. End of 2 periods of play, but 3 goals in the third period.
So as you can see in the return visit to Meaford, the Bradford Bulls will come out on top again by a score of 5-2. The score not really indicative of how that game was played. With 6 minutes to go, the Knights were only trailing by a score of 3-2 and pressing, but an untimely 5-minute major by Brandon Kipling would technically, basically take Meaford out of that one. But a great performance in goal by Mr. McCutcheon. He played a great game. The Knights goal scored by Hayden Phillip and Baron Herzog. And again, the Knights deserved a better fate on that night. Let's go now to Sunday. Sunday, a rare matinee game at 2:30 in Meaford. The Knights would get back into the win column with a 4-3 victory over the New Tech Civics. First time these two teams have played this season. And two familiar names again, Hayden Phillip and Jordan DeGow would each score a pair of goals in that victory for the Knights. Now, Mark, if we could take a look at the league standings. And as it has been for most of the season, if not all the season, Temiskaming Titans sitting on top, 16-1 with for 32 points. Bradford Rattlers 12-2 for 24 points. And the Bulls, on the strength of those 2 victories against Meaford, have moved to 10-5 for 20 points. We've got a log jam 4-7. Knights sitting in tied for 6th spot, 6 wins, 5 losses. 6 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses for 14 points. We could take a look at the Knights' leading scorers, Mark. Defenseman Declan Flanagan sitting on top, 3 goals and 13 assists. Mason McNeil sitting in second, only 2 points behind, 5 goals, 9 assists for 14 points. Then we take a look at the 2 gentlemen who did the crux of the scoring over the past 3 games. Jordan DeGow sitting in fourth with 9 goals and 4 assists. Hayden Phillip, 10 goals, 2 assists for 12 points. And now if we could take a look at the upcoming games. November 25th, a very special night on the calendar. This coming Thursday night, it's 90s night, and it's a fundraiser for the Canadian Mental Health Association, the Grey Bruce chapter. And we'll be talking about that with our special guest, home to South Muskoka on that night. Then the nights, 3 games in 3 nights. It's going to be a tough go for Meaford. So 26, they'll be in Temiskaming to face the first place Titans. Then the following night, they'll be in Ville Marie on the 27th. Another one to mark on your calendar, December 2nd, Temiskaming will be making their first visit to Meaford, and Rogers TV will be there for that one. And another one, December 19th, that's going to be the final game before the Christmas break. West Nipissing Lynx will be in Meaford. So again, tough schedule coming up for the Knights this coming week, 3 and 3, and they're playing against 2 of the premier teams in the league in Temiskaming and Ville Marie. So that's going to do it for this part of the show. Let's get to our guests. Sarah Durrer from the from the Grey Bruce office of the Canadian Mental Health Association, and Danny Smith, Director of Scouting, and as I said, he wears many hats with the Meaford Knights, are my guests. Welcome to the show, folks.
Hey, Rob.
There you are. Hey, Danny. All right. So a great night coming up this coming Thursday night at the Meaford St. Vincent Community Center. The Knights take on South Muskoka, but it's been dubbed 90s night. And Danny, I'll ask you first, what can the people expect on 90s night at the St. Vincent Community Center?
So we teamed up with the CMHA in order to raise some funds for the Canadian Mental Health Association. Obviously, we kind of thought it would be, a cool thing with everything going on in the world. Mental health is such a big thing. And this summer, unfortunately, I lost a friend, and what his family wished is, is that anybody affected would donate towards their local mental health association. And I'm lucky enough to have the platform I do in order to do something like this. And talking to my fiance and talking to Sarah, we thought this would be a really good opportunity for the Knights to put mental health first for one night. And I kind of thought since the 90s, since none of our players are born before 2000, 90s night would be a pretty cool opportunity to not only showcase the retro jerseys that we revealed yesterday, but also to show how far mental health has come since then.
And it's Danny, yeah, I've known you for a couple of years, and I know for a fact, not just you, but with owner Sabine Chalet, with general manager Nathan Parrish, that this isn't just a special night. This is something that comes from the heart from you people, and I know for a fact. For example, you did a pink in the rink when you were coaching a lacrosse team, and you invited us there to cover that on Rogers TV, and I thank you for that opportunity. But it really is a great reflection of the heart and how much the Knights and yourselves personally feel about the community and about these events.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We take pride in serving our community, and I hope it's a good night.
Okay, the jerseys. All right, the jerseys, they look great. Anybody that is familiar with the Mighty Ducks movie from the 90s will recognize it right away. So you're planning to auction those off at the end of the night?
Yeah. So all of the jerseys will be auctioned off right after the game. And with that being said, all the proceeds from those jersey auctions will go towards CMHA.
Okay, so I've noticed on the social media today that people are asking, can they bid online or can they call in bids to bid on the shirts? I know ton of the players are from across the country and around the world, so that's been one of the big questions being asked.
Well, how our jersey auctions work is everything's got to be in person. Everything will be auctioned off after the game at the arena. We do accept e-transfers, cash, credit cards, the whole 9 yards. So unfortunately, in order to purchase a jersey, you have to be at the game.
Unless somebody has a phone number, can they phone in a bid to somebody?
I wish we're not that far ahead of the technology yet, but maybe next year.
Okay. All right. Let's switch over to Sarah Durrer. Sarah, the Canadian Mental Health Association of Grey Bruce, really, they are such a huge part of the community and sometimes maybe go a little unnoticed. Let's talk about some of the programs that the Canadian Mental Health Association, the things that they do year in and year out.
So the Canadian Mental Health Association has a bunch of community-based programs which can only run from community-based raised funds. So from third party or funds like Danny is hosting for us here. And we have the youth awareness program where we go into the schools and we talk to youth using puppets just about mental health, bringing some mental health awareness, mental health literacy. And then we also have presentations we do for the older kids, just more like Kahoots and presentation styles. And then there's also, we have the social leisure programs. We have the garden program, the employment ID service program, and the men's program. Those are all of our community-based fund programs.
So it's as you said, that those are a vast number of very important programs that are provided to Grey and Bruce counties, and it takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of funding and to keep those programs keep them going. So an event such as what the Meaford Knights are putting on this Thursday night is. Especially with COVID. COVID has really affected a lot of those fundraising things that you would normally do. So this event Thursday night is very important to the work that you do.
It's amazing. Yeah, we were so honored when Danny reached out to us to be a part of this event. I think it's especially important. Just with the grim reality of mental health in Canada, I think it predates COVID-19. Like Canadians already had unmet mental health care needs before the pandemic. And now post-pandemic, that's just made some disruptions, have made things only worse for those especially living with mental health problems and mental illness. So just to bring mental health to the forefront for one night, especially in the athlete community. I don't know if you've seen lately, but our athletes and mental health, it's become a discussion as Simone Biles left the Olympics due to her mental health. Carey Price talks about his mental health. So it's really important now more than ever.
Absolutely. And having high profile people, like you said, with Carey Price, Connor McDavid, Robin Leonard. He was a goalkeeper. He played as junior, I think, with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, the NHL goalkeeper. How important it is for them, and for them to come out and admit that they do have these these issues, makes it a lot easier and maybe enables people to finally address the situations that they're going through personally.
Yeah, that most definitely breaks the stigma because it's, stigma is out there and it does prevent people from getting the help that they do need. So it is great. As you said, right? It is great to break the stigma.
And I can't say enough about the work that your office does for Grey and Bruce counties. As I was mentioning prior to us taping this, I did Grey County Life show on Rogers at Grey County. Great show. Watch it if you can. But I was able to interview some of the people on a couple of occasions from your office. And I was just absolutely amazed at what I didn't know as far as the services that are provided by your office and just how super important it is. And I can imagine during this COVID thing, I know that excuse me, everybody's been affected by this. And I would imagine, I'm just surmising that that the need for your services has increased over the past few years.
Especially since the post-pandemic. Yes. We see those who have already been using the system and now it's overburdened. It was overburdened before, but now even more so.
All right, so this coming Thursday night is going to be a great celebration, I think, in helping people to become aware and hopefully giving people the opportunity to speak to someone. Will there be? I'm sure there will be some of you on hand that night.
Yes, so myself, Jackie Ralph, and Abby Jeremy will be there from the Canadian Mental Health Association, and we'll have a table there just to set up of all the resources that we have, some resources that the Grey Bruce Health Services have themselves, just any mental health resource in the area, what we do, and just we're just there to talk mental health.
So again, that's a great thing too, because maybe someone who's not comfortable with it will just sneak by and grab a pamphlet on their way out the door or something like that. So,
Mhm.
just that in itself is really beneficial to the community and it may end up saving a life in the end. So, I just can't say enough about the work that the Canadian Mental Health Association does in Grey and Bruce counties, and hats off to the Knights of Meaford and in particular
Mhm.
Danny Smith for making this all happen. And Danny, I got to tell you, buddy, you're like when you do it big.
You know, we try and do it right here, and I know the guys really enjoy giving back, and it's a huge part of our program.
And I'm thinking back to the opportunity you gave me with the Pink in the Ring thing you did, and you allowed me to talk to the players prior to the game, and that particular event really touched home with some of your players because they had a family member or someone that was affected by it was for breast cancer research, but I can imagine that this event is probably going to have the same effect, and I can't say enough about you for making this all happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody has, somebody who's affected by mental health in one way or another, and it's a huge thing now where there's so many resources available now, and a lot of people just don't know. And I'll do everything I can to give back, because I'm lucky enough to have not only one but two mental health workers in my family, and obviously with Sarah coming into the family as well, being my fiance's cousin. We're very lucky in that regard. But there's other people who just don't know, and we have players from all over the world who come from different backgrounds. And we've got players like Thomas Gray from Iqaluit, who you and I both know. There's a huge mental health crisis up there with everything going on, and also players from Europe, and it's everywhere, right? It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Everybody knows somebody who's affected. So I hope this night really puts into perspective for some people and raises awareness, and hopefully raise some funds for Grey Bruce County.
Just a fantastic initiative again, Danny, and my hat's off to you and the Knights of Meaford for doing this. And so everyone, please, if you can, get out to the rink Thursday night. There's a bunch of other stuff. You've got a beer garden. There's there's raffle prizes. You've got you mentioned something about Leon's. You got independent grocery store.
No, we got tons of raffle prizes. We got a gift certificate from Leon's, Shorty's Bar and Grill, Boston Pizza, Pizza here in Meaford, the Orchid in Thornbury, which is one of the best breakfasts you can buy. Europa restaurants. I think there's around 12 raffle prizes. And the best part about it is that everybody who comes in gets a couple free raffle tickets. So, come on down, have a drink, bring some cash to buy a jersey, and test your luck at our raffle prize.
Okay, Danny, and again, I can't say enough about the effort that the Knights of Meaford and yourself personally you put into the community. And as I said, it's not just something that you feel like the team needs to do. This is definitely from the heart. I'm 100% convinced of that. So I can't be there. I apologize for that. So, but I'll be there in spirit, absolutely, my friend. And Sarah Durrer, thank you very much. And I wish you all the best this coming Thursday night.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks. And I just like to take the time to say that I was fortunate enough to go meet the Meaford Nights on Saturday with Danny to drop off some wellness shirts, and they're really good group of guys. And just the planning, I can tell lots of planning has gone into this event, and these guys are really passionate about good mental health too. So that's nice to see.
Fantastic. All right.
Mhm.
And again, as I said, all the best to you this coming Thursday night. Rogers TV will be there to tape the game. And again, all the best to you this coming Thursday night. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of Night's Talk. I'm your host, Rob Leonard. For producer Mark Perry, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.